All right, let's talk about something that's literally all around us, shaping our entire world, whether we notice it or not: Euclidean geometry. I know, it sounds a little intimidating, but really, it's just this secret rulebook for all the shapes we see every day. From the phone in your hand to the house you're in, these are the rules that make it all work.
So let me ask you this. What could a photograph, a detailed building blueprint, and a simple slice of pizza possibly have in common? Well, it turns out they all speak the same language. They're all built on the same elegant, predictable rules of geometry. Let's break down that language.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start with the absolute basics, the language of shapes. Then we'll see what happens when triangles and parallel lines get together. After that, we'll look at a really cool shortcut called the midpoint theorem and figure out what it means for shapes to be similar. And we'll wrap it all up with, probably the most famous theorem in all of math. Every step builds on the one before it, so let's jump in. Okay, first things first, before we can build anything interesting, we need to know our tools, right? In geometry, that means getting comfortable with a few key words. This is the vocabulary that's going to unlock everything else for us. First up is ratio, and honestly, it's super simple. Just think of it like a recipe. If you need 2 cups of flour for every 1 cup of sugar, that 2-to-1 relationship, well, that's your ratio. So what happens when we scale that up? That's where proportion comes in. It's just when you have 2 ratios that are equal. So let's say you double that recipe, 4 cups of flour to 2 cups of sugar. The cake is way bigger, but the taste, that core relationship, is exactly the same. That's proportion. And finally, where are we doing all this? On our polygons. This is just a fancy word for any flat, closed shape made of straight lines. Triangles, squares, hexagons, you name it, these are going to be our canvases for today. All right, we've got the lingo down. Now it's time to put it to work. This is where things get really interesting, because we're about to uncover one of the most fundamental rules in all of geometry, the proportion theorem. It all starts with a simple little thought experiment. Just picture any triangle you want in your head. Now imagine you slice a perfectly straight line through it, making sure that line is exactly parallel to the bottom side. What do you think happens to the other 2 sides? The result is incredibly neat. And here it is. That parallel line you just imagined cutting through the triangle, the proportion theorem tells us it splits the other 2 sides in the exact same proportion. So the ratio of the top piece to the bottom piece on the left side is now identical to the ratio on the right side. It works every single time. It's such a reliable and powerful rule. And here's where it gets really, really useful. This isn't a one-way street. It works in reverse, too. So if a line is parallel, we know the sides are in proportion. But, and this is the cool card, if you find a line that already divides 2 sides in the same proportion, you know for a fact it must be parallel to the 3rd side. It's a fantastic tool for solving geometric puzzles. Okay, so we've seen what any old parallel line can do. But what if we get a little more specific? What if we draw our line in a very particular, very special place? This leads us to an absolutely beautiful shortcut, the midpoint theorem.
So instead of drawing our line just anywhere, what if we find the exact halfway point on 2 of the triangle's sides and connect them with the line? Does this very specific action lead to a special result? Oh, you bet it does.
This is the magic right here. The midpoint theorem gives us a 2-for-1 deal. That special line we drew isn't just parallel to the bottom side, it is also exactly half its length. This is so useful. If you're an engineer or a designer, a rule like this can save you a ton of time and calculations. And you guessed it, the reverse is also true. If you start at a midpoint and draw a line parallel to the base, you are guaranteed to hit the exact midpoint on the other side. So elegant. You know, all this talk about ratios and scaling things up and down leads us perfectly into our next big idea: similar shapes. How do we actually, mathematically, define what makes 2 shapes lookalikes? Well, it all comes back to those ratios we started with. So what do we mean by similar polygons? The easiest way to think about it is with a photo. You can have a tiny wallet-sized print and a giant wall poster of the same image. They are obviously different sizes, but the picture itself is identical, right? One is just an enlargement of the other. In geometry, we call them similar. But for us, looks about right isn't good enough. In math, we need strict rules. For any 2 shapes to be officially called similar, they have to pass a strict 2-point inspection. First, every single one of their matching angles has to be exactly equal. And second, all of their matching sides have to be in the same proportion. You absolutely need both conditions to be true. It's all or nothing. And that brings us to our grand finale. We've talked about triangles and lines and proportions, and now we're going to zero in on one very, very special kind of triangle, the right-angled triangle, and what is arguably the rock star of all math theorems. I'm pretty sure you know which one I'm talking about. This is a rule that has fascinated people for thousands of years. It's a cornerstone of building, of navigation, of, well, just about everything. There it is, the classic wording. In any triangle that has a perfect 90-degree corner, the square of the longest side, that's the hypotenuse, is always equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Just a beautiful, perfect relationship. And just like the other theorems we've looked at, this is another powerful two-way street. We all learned in school how to use it to find the length of a missing side, but its other job is just as important. The reverse, or the converse, says that if you measure the three sides of any triangle, and they happen to fit that a squared plus b squared equals c squared formula, then you've just proven that it has a perfect 90-degree angle. It's like a geometric detective tool. So, Pythagoras totally nailed it. He gave us this perfect, unbreakable rule for right-angled triangles. And it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? We've unlocked some of the secrets of triangles and parallel lines today, but what other incredible rules are out there, just waiting to be discovered, that govern all the other complex, amazing shapes that make up our universe? What other hidden patterns are shaping the world we see every single day?